afternoon to the children of class 12 arts. I can see only Oshmita. Raj Lakshmi is there, okay? Children, am I visible and audible properly? Okay. So I have already started the last week when I have taken the last class for you. It was when I suppose on Tuesday. After the, yes, ma'am. Okay. Now Tuesday was the last class which I have taken for you, because after that you know that I was not well, so I couldn't join. And I have started with the chapter on contemporary South Asia. Although I have already done with the United Nations and its organizations. That chapter I have already completed, and I have come back because this was the chapter I was having a doubt whether it is there in your syllabus or not. So I have come back to this chapter and I have started this chapter, and I have told you, do you remember that I told you what are the countries which form the South Asia? Sorry, yes, which belong to parts of contemporary South Asia. Do you remember the countries? Okay, what are the countries? They are Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. These are the countries which form a part of the contemporary South Asia. Now in this chapter you will see that we will be having how democracy had taken place in the countries of Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Maldives. Clear? And the rest of the parts, that is India's relation with its neighbors, that part you are not going to have, as I have told you the other day also. And I have already started with the part on Pakistan. How Pakistan, I have shown you the other day, I have shown you in the form of a wavelength. I have shown you in the in a representation of a wavelength, where I have discussed how I have discussed that how Pakistan have seen an ups and downs with regard to democracy and military dictatorship. Pakistan initially started with military dictatorship. It was under General Ayub Khan. And one more thing I have told you in the previous class, it was like this, that although under Nawaz Sharif, under Benazir Bhutto, and at present under Imran Khan, we are having democratic rule, democratic regime in Pakistan. But one thing which is very, very, one thing you have to remember is that, that the military is very, very powerful in Pakistan. Even when Nawaz Sharif became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, you will find that the military was very, very powerful, and Parvez Musharraf's military coup means the group, he has taken over or captured all the centers of power under Nawaz Sharif. And after Nawaz Sharif, you can find that Benazir Bhutto had, and if a question can come to you like this, that mention the names of two democratic leaders who have maintained successive democratic rule in Pakistan. So consecutive two democratic rules in Pakistan had come, once under Nawaz Sharif and another one was under Benazir Bhutto. These are all parts of your short answer questions. You have already learnt much about that about India-Pakistan relationship, when you have learnt about the Indus Water Treaty, then you have learnt about the Tashkent Agreement, where you have learnt about the agreement signed between General Ayub Khan, between Jawaharlal Nehru, and next time between Jawaharlal Nehru and Lal Bahadur Shastri, that is the Tashkent Agreement, where I have told you that it was during the Tashkent Agreement when Lal Bahadur Shastri, he had gone there to sign the agreement, but unfortunately he died there after falling sick. So one thing you will have to remember with regard to Pakistan is that Pakistan has always shown fall up and down. You will see a wavelength, that means a graph going up and down. That means a successive government between military dictatorship as well as democracy. And at present, you know that in Pakistan is once again under democracy, because you know that in Pakistan is having the Pakistani parliament there, and with Imran Khan as the Prime Minister of Pakistan at present. Clear? So Pakistan is very, very specific. You will see that Pakistan's record, Pakistan's graph is a bit different from the other countries of the world. This was about Pakistan and the establishment of military dictatorship and democracy in alternate turns in Pakistan. Now we will talk about Bangladesh. Do you know what was this one? I have already discussed with you in the part the chapters politics in India since independence. Do you remember what was before 1971, what was Bangladesh actually popularly known as? What was Bangladesh popularly known as before that? Yes, very good, Ashmita. It's East Pakistan, because when we have discussed the first chapter in the politics of India since independence, we have seen that India, was one of the most tragic incidents which had ever taken place in the history of India is the partition. And many scholars have, very beautifully they have written that it was not a partition of land, it was actually a partition of hearts of the people. And usually parts, on the northwestern part of India, that is Sindh, Baluchistan, the present Pakistan area, that was a Muslim dominated area. Also parts of Punjab, that was a part where it was Muslim dominated area, as well as parts on the northeastern part of India, especially the eastern part of India, where you have the Bangladesh now. When partition was going to take place in India, there were three challenges. And among the three challenges, one of the challenges which I have told you was that if India was going to be partitioned on the grounds of religion, that then no region in India was there where the Muslims were in a majority. In fact, I will tell you, the whole Muslim population and the Hindu population of India, it was scattered in various parts. You will not find a pure a region which you can say that it is purely Muslim dominated region or a purely Hindu dominated region. It was not like that. So that was one of the challenges. And apart from that, there were other challenges also. Many people were not willing. We are not going to discuss, we have already discussed in the first chapter. So when it was finally decided that India is going to be partitioned, so what happened, that part which is now Bangladesh, that part and the part which is now at present known as Pakistan, those two were declared to be the Muslim dominated areas, and they were the parts which were actually going to be separated or partitioned from the rest of India. And in that way only the partition had taken place. And the most absurd thing was that, see, I'm just referring to the board. I have done this before also. I don't know whether you are remembering it or not. The most absurd thing was that, in between it was, if this is India, unfortunately you will find that here it is one part of Pakistan which was known to be the West Pakistan, and another part was here which was known to be the East Pakistan. Can you imagine the huge lot of distance between the two parts? It was, a huge lot of distance, and the whole part of East Pakistan, which is at present, which is known as Bangladesh, it was controlled by the West Pakistan. Clear? And one more thing, not only were there differences, huge miles of difference in distance, if you have gone through the people, their culture, their language, everything, they are completely different. Whereas if you go to Pakistan, people there, they speak different language, their culture is different, their dress is different, fooding habits are different. And on the other hand, if you go to East Pakistan, at present Bangladesh, you will find there completely different. So under these kinds of circumstances, it was not possible that two separate regions being taken as a single country. This could not be maintained for a long time. And people, and this harsh feelings developed in the minds of the people of East Pakistan when West Pakistan wanted to impose its Urdu culture upon the people of East Pakistan, because we all know that the name itself suggests Bangladesh. That means they have a completely, I'll say 100% pure Bengali culture. So when the the ruler of West Pakistan, he was trying to impose the Urdu culture over them, the people of Bangladesh was not ready to accept it. And during that time only, election to the provincial legislative assemblies had taken place. Whereas you find that Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, have you heard the name? The father of Benazir Bhutto, he had won the elections in West Pakistan, whereas Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who was also known to be the Lion of Bengal, the Lion of Bengal, he had won with a huge majority in the so-called East Pakistan. And the West Pakistani government, they were not ready to give the East Pakistan seat or an independent status to the Awami League Party of Bangladesh, that is East Pakistan. And so in this way what happened, both the countries, they entered into a conflictual relationship between both the countries, and this was followed by what, a very, very horrific or tragic incident where, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, his family, what happened, the whole family was assassinated in a single night. It was estimated somewhere around 32 members of his family, when they were asleep at night, they were assassinated by the military which were sent from West Pakistan. And that, it came up like, I'll tell you, like, like a fire. It was like a blast. And East Pakistan, that is Bangladesh, they now demanded for their freedom. And it was during this juncture when Pakistan, that is East Pakistan, was being helped by China and America. On the other hand, India extended a hand of, an arm of help to Bangladesh, and it was during this time also India entered into a treaty with USSR, which was a 20-year friendship treaty, and USSR and India both, together, they have sided up with Bangladesh, or which was finally known to be East Pakistan. And it was, during this juncture, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, she had played a notable role, whichever areas the military of West Pakistan had captured in East Pakistan, the Indian military forces were deployed there, and they have pushed out all the West Pakistani forces from there. And finally, with the help of the Indian army, Bangladesh, got liberated, and they got freedom, and they were capable of establishing democracy in their country, and the name was actually changed from East Pakistan to Bangladesh. This was how, finally democracy was established in Bangladesh in the year 1971. Clear? Which was previously known to be East Pakistan. From 1971 onwards, it got a new name, and the name was Bangladesh. And as I've told you before, the name itself is very, very suggestive of their language, their culture. Any problems with this part, children? If you have a problem, then you ask me. Next day, I will talk about Sri Lanka, Nepal and Maldives, and I will complete this chapter. And with regard to this chapter, that is security in the contemporary world, that is chapter 7, here only you will be having the part on terrorism. Here you will be having only the part on terrorism. So in this part I will be teaching you on terrorism, and after that maybe only one chapter will be left from this book. Clear? By September, I suppose I will be completing this book, and in the next another book, most of the chapters have been removed. Let us see. Yes, one more thing which I have told you is that picture writing is very important, picture reading, and the pictures, whichever I tell you, do them. And another thing I have told you in the last class was about the exercises. Don't skip the exercises. Please, the objective exercises, that is one word answers, like those who are like comprehension type, match the following type, you will have to practice them, and hope after the situation gets normalized very soon so that I can check them. And now you can do them. If you have any problem, you can ask me while these online classes are going on. Okay, thank you very much.